Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
Brewers, it's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy, hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
Greetings.
I'm back. I'm back in the good old US of A.
Excellent. So, where all have you been exactly?
The last 35 days, I went, let's see here, Boston.
Okay.
I went to Sweden. I went to the Netherlands. I went to the UK. I went to Denmark, and I went to Norway.
Wow. That's quite a trip.
Yes. 35 days.
So you planned on going to Boston, and then everything else just kind of happened after that?
No.
Just wrong turn here, wrong turn there?
No. I planned on going to Sweden to do the Craft Brew Conference there with my good friends Magnus and Dan-Magnus. And they put on this conference, which is fantastic. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
And then I agreed to do that, and then I agreed to do this other festival in Norway, which was like 2 weeks later. And I said, hey, yeah, well, it's 2 weeks. I'll just go, and I'll tour around with my daughter, and we'll have a good time. And then they moved the conference like 2 weeks earlier than that. So then all of a sudden it was 4 weeks between the two. And I'm I don't want to disappoint either one.
Right.
And then the Boston thing got thrown on the front of that. And then it became 5 weeks.
Oh, pretty nice trip, though, I bet.
It was wonderful. So, it was just very long and very tiring.
Yeah. Any favorite fish dishes from it?
Well, there was no walleye. And I didn't have any lutefisk.
Okay.
But I did have quite a bit of... I had some very nice smoked salmon on one of the flights. I had some great fish and chips. And the best was actually at the Fuller's Pub at the brewery there. It was spectacular. It was... The coating on it was so thin and so crisp. It was flawless. I mean, it is the best fish and chips I had anywhere in the world. And I'm a bit of an aficionado. I spend my time, enjoying fish and chips around the world.
Yeah. And, well, you're making me hungry.
It was pretty dang spectacular. So I had a good time. I spent. I'm quite exhausted as I flew in the last night, and but it was all worth it. And especially since all these places I went, I met great, passionate beer people, and great breweries. I did great collaborations. I did just so many wonderful things. I'd be embarrassed or ashamed to say, anything other than I had a spectacular time.
Yeah.
It would be cruel and cold of me. But I'll tell you, the highlight for me, or one of the highlights, not that any of them were highlights, but one of my favorite things was Sweden. The only place in Sweden I've seen so far is Malmö, Sweden, because that's where my friends have this craft brew conference. This was the second year, and it was spectacular. And the Swedish people are just wonderful, and it's a joy to go visit there. So I've actually, one of the places that would be a joy to visit. Speaking of places that are a joy to visit, Indiana,
yes,
yeah.
And like near the thriving metropolis of Lafayette, perhaps?
Lafayette. I think I'm going to be there in June. That's sort of my plan. I'm working
That's excellent.
I'd love to go. And why would I want to go to Lafayette, Indiana?
Well, because our good friend John Blickman is there for one.
That's right. Well, that's pretty much my main reason. To go to Lafayette, Indiana. Pretty much my only reason. No, I'm looking forward to seeing my good friend John and checking out the factory. I've never been there. See where I imagine he's got like an office that has got like some beanbag chairs, some velvet paintings, black light, a lot of incense burning. Probably.
Well, there are a lot of insects burning, yeah.
That or, it's more mad scientists. There's probably more like, Tesla coils going off, shocking the employees back into working. I imagine there is all sorts of spectacular stuff going on at the Blickman engineering, should we say, compound? What should we call it?
Corporation.
Corporation. Oh, so even you choke on that word.
I do, yes. Compound works.
Compound, right. Well, our good friend John Blickman, check him out, blickmanengineering.com. They've got all sorts of fantastic equipment to make your brew day much more inspiring and exciting and fruitful and efficient, another one. And you can tell them how much you enjoy that they sponsor the show by just emailing them at feedback@blickmanengineering.com, because now that email works, I've been told. It's only been like 2 years we've been telling people to use feedback@blickmanengineering.com, and now it actually works. And he was telling me, just change who you're pointing them to. I'm like, no. Just add the alias, dude. So he got that done.
There's technology, and then there's technology,
Right. There's hardware, and there's software.
Yeah.
I would say John's more of a hardware guy.
Exactly.
I'm more of a software guy. There you go. There's the difference. So check them out, blickmanengineering.com. All right, so, I had such a spectacular time in Sweden, and I always do, and especially at this conference, I invited my good friends Magnus and Dan-Magnus to join us on the show. You guys there?
Yes, we are.
Hello,
Magnus here.
Yeah, hello, Dan here.
And one of the great things about visiting Sweden is everybody...
Is named Magnus?
Well, 50% of the population is the name Magnus, has a beard, and owns a brewery. But everybody speaks English too, and they will switch between English and Swedish, no problem. But generally, if you are there and you are paying attention, they'll speak in English, so you are not left out. And if they're off on their own, they'll speak Swedish, but, if they see you're standing there, they'll, switch into English for you, so you're not missing out on anything.
Yeah, that's actually quite true, Jamil.
Yeah. The Swedish people are just really nice. I don't know if you realize this. I mean, not you two guys, but the rest of the folks.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe they are. I don't know. But Jamil, one thing that I realized during your intro was that I thought that, we were terrible hosts. So next year, what we will do for you and for you as well, John, if you care to to join this wonderful conference that we're arranging. Is that the day before the conference we'll set up something special for you.
Swedish massage?
No, we're on the topic of fish now.
Ah, yes.
We have a surströmming, which is they call it fermented herring, but it's down to earth rotten. It smells terrible.
A lot of ammonia to it.
I've tried it once, and I let you try it too. And then the lutefisk, that's kind of okay. We have actually in the where we have our brewery, there is one company that makes one of the best lutefisks in Sweden.
One of the largest also, I think.
Yeah. And there are all other creepy fish items as well, like pike's eye. That's a delicacy.
That's right up John's
alley. I've never tried it, but it's supposed to be very tasty. We'll even if I'll go and fish the pike myself, I'll arrange that for you. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I tell my kids, if a food item, you try any of it once.
Yeah.
And once is probably sounds like it's plenty for your fermented fish and pike's eye.
But I will have it also with a spiced up hard liquor aquavit, and so we'll bring the one we have made.
I got violently drunk off of aquavit back in college, where I nearly died. And
yeah, but you shouldn't drink it like that. You should drink it a bit more.
Drink more. I should drink it to the point where it kills me. Oh, yeah. That was that aquavit. I can taste it today. Just the memory of it is still so strong. 30 some odd years later, I'm still quite queasy over the thought of aquavit.
It goes together with the pickled herring. It's excellent.
All right. Hey, if I vomit all over your brewery, then that's
you'd be like a seagull then.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to talk about the conference. I want to talk about your brewery. I want to talk about the beer scene in Sweden and maybe Scandinavia in general. I mean, things about your ingredients and what kind of beers people are focused on, all that stuff. So let's do this. I need to take a short break. When we come back, I want to get into all that with you guys. All right?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be back right after this.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone Certification Program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone Certification Program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone Certification Program. We know beer.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection.
Grog tags aren't just for labeling your home brews to hand out to your friends. They're the perfect way to round out your personal brewing marketing. Bringing your latest beer to a funeral? Craft a metal sign to go with it. Heading out to little Liam's bar mitzvah? Grog Tag custom bottle caps are awesome. Couldn't get out of jury duty this year? Grog Tag the hell out of the deliberation room with reusable labels. Grog Tag has an awesome array of products just waiting to be customized by you. Metal signs, coasters, tasting mats, bottle caps, tap handles. It's all there waiting for your designs at Grog Tag. Liven up your next party with the widest selection of custom products ever offered by a sponsor of the Brewing Network. Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew strong.
All right, we're back. We're talking about Springfest and Bevo drinking tea instead of hard alcohol. And Adam and Eve. Yes, there you go. Apparently, you all don't buy enough dildos and sex swings.
What?
Am I good? There we go. Why is Bevo so into your guys' show? She's in there chatting with you. Yeah. She's having a great time.
That's why you are no longer invited to our show, because Bevo participates and loves us. And you hated us, and you shunned us. And you...
Jamil, if you go back and you listen to those shows, I was wildly participatory. I was all over those shows.
Oh, maybe that's the problem.
Oh,
maybe
too much.
That's the problem. You were too much.
Didn't shut up.
You were too involved with the show. We became uncomfortable.
I see. Please forgive me. I'll go away now, okay? All right. Goodbye.
Yes.
Or it might have just been Bevo and, alone.
Bevo's got the big sweater hogans. I think that is really the difference there, Scott. I don't know if you're listening, but yeah. That's the difference. Is Bevo has the big sweater hogans, you have none.
I don't know. Mine are getting bigger by the day.
Yeah, you're growing some good ones there, but,
Filled with beer?
Something like that. Filled with something.
Right. You could nurse an alcoholic child on them things. Oh, God. Yes. All right. So, I'm glad you guys stayed up till midnight here in Sweden to participate in this fine show. Speaking of fine shows, all right, so I've been saying already that your conference, I think, is excellent. It's not huge. I mean, it's still quite intimate and, where you can meet everybody who shows up for the conference. It's, 60, 70 people. And you get a chance to mingle and talk. And, it's still one of the nice things is that it's a fairly, tight-knit group of people from around the area that show up for this. But I'm telling you, the quality of the information you're putting on and the effort you guys put into controlling, what kind of information is presented so that people aren't just, like, selling crap to, that it's not like sales presentations to people. It's actual useful, productive information for their brewery. Because of that, I think you guys are going to just do amazing things with this conference.
Well, thank you, Jamil, because that you're bringing up something that we actually have as an aim for us, that the conference should be about education, not just a sales talk for the companies that are doing presentations. So that is why we are focusing so hard on getting this. I don't know what you say, Magnus.
Yeah. True. That's exactly, because we went to a couple of conferences before we actually decided to start our own, and they showed like organizational charts, very interesting, and they show this is our product range, very interesting. But behind that, the person presenting, maybe not all the presentations at that conference, but they had a lot of knowledge that people at the end, at the question and answers section, that was maybe 5 minutes, then they brought up all the good topics. So we wanted to turn that the other way around. So we put vendors outside in the outside of the presentation or conference room, and you can mingle with the vendors and you can have all the product information out there. But when they present, they go to core nerdy, the nerd knowledge and the details. And like this year, the main focus was yeast. So we spent the full day. I don't know, Magnus, was it Jamil, or was it Trolls that had the comment in the beginning? I think it was Trolls. He said that it was amazing. 65 people just staring at him, waiting eagerly for him to talk as one presenter on a full day, just talking about brewers' yeast. Different aspects.
And that is one thing that, as I said, that we want to make it educational. So it's not only a conference. It should be something where everyone that gets there, they should at least pick up a few items that they didn't know about. And the way we think about it when we plan for the different topics is that we want it to be a conference that we want to go to ourselves. Well, I think that's a good take, because we own the brewery, and if we want to know about different stuff, then other people that also owns or works at the brewery, they want to know the same stuff.
Well, and you guys actually, I don't want to say you control the information, but you kind of vet the information that the people are going to present. You have me send my presentations in, and you look at them and you comment on them, and you say, well, this could be done better. Why don't you talk about this? And I found the feedback very useful, whereas a lot of conferences I go to, they've signed me up, the subject matter is chosen, that's it. And I could do anything. They have not put any time into, actually vetting what I'm actually going to say. And you guys actually do that. And I think that's an important fact. And then also, the whole thing's done in English. So anyone who thinks, well, I don't want to go to a Swedish conference because, it's all going to be in Swedish. No, it's all in English. So you people in the UK, you people in Denmark, you people in Norway, you people, all around that area, in Germany, if you understand English, you could go to this conference in Malmö, Sweden, which you just fly to Copenhagen, and then you're a 15-minute train ride from the conference. Couldn't be easier, and I'm shocked that all these people are not, swamping you with, trying to register.
Yeah, we were actually talking to Twelves who came from Denmark, and I mean it's probably much easier to come from Denmark to go to the conference than it is to come from Sweden to go to the conference if you want to go with public transportation.
Right. You're 5 hours
from the first stop after
Stockholm.
You reach Sweden, then you're at the conference. It's as easy as that.
Yeah, why every Danish brewer isn't there seems odd.
Yeah, next year they'll be there.
Exactly. Next year we'll be glad to invite them.
Well, and the people from the UK, I mean, that's an easy trip. I did it. Yeah. That's nothing.
No.
It's like an hour flight, and it's cheap.
Exactly.
It's like $30 for a flight.
Yep.
All right.
Flying in Europe these days are ridiculously cheap. Actually, that's really good. Actually.
I'm thinking a comment there. Everything is in English. I think one thing that we wanted to accomplish is to be able to bring in, if it is a Danish brewer or if it is a well-known presenter like yourself, Jamil. So for a subject matter expert, it shouldn't be a limitation to be the best one we can find within Sweden. We want to find globally all the big names, whatever topic we decide to bring on.
Well, and I'd say this: you really, having brought me in, you're really just absolute the highest level of
so now we go
presenter
down. After this, we go down and we
could possibly get. That's what you already got. Well, and I enjoy it so much. If you guys have room for me next year, I would love to be there next year. The next conference is March 8th, 2018?
Yeah.
All right, you people all listening, mark your calendars. And I would even go as far as to say somebody in the U.S. who's interested in a Scandinavian vacation, might want to say, hey, maybe I'll just go over to this conference, because especially this year, I mean, there was a solid day of yeast. There was not a person in that room that did not learn something significant for their brewing and improving their brewing that attended that conference. I guarantee you everybody got their money's worth, unless they didn't pay attention at all. Or they were listening to their iPod instead of actually listening to what was going on. I mean, how does somebody not gain from that? So I'd say no matter where you are, maybe start filling this conference up with a bunch of U.S. people. Let's all go over to Sweden. Enjoy it.
So welcome to join us.
You're all invited. And then speaking about the topics, that's one part of the coin. And the other is to have good, knowledgeable speakers that have the ability to get good connection with the audience. Because otherwise you're just listening to someone reading the same words that they have on the presentation.
They're talking turds.
This is about getting connection, and this is about answering questions ad hoc when they appear. And the feedback that we have gotten from the attenders this year was tremendous. They really, really, really loved the conference. So it didn't take us 2 seconds to decide that, let's go for another year next year.
Excellent. Well,
I think the biggest problem and the negative feedback was that they were so eager to go home and improve that they didn't want to stay the full day. That I heard during lunch.
But they did, and they appreciated it. Well, and what's the website where people can go to register for the conference?
It's Craftbeer Malmö. I don't know if it's hard to spell in English, but Craftbeer, it's of course easy. Malmö, MALMO.com.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, just Google search something that sounds sort of like that, and you're good. If you can,
of course it's not .com in the end. It's .se as in Sweden, but we'll make sure to register the other domain as well, so it goes to the same web page.
Yeah.
And there's also a Facebook page. Magnus, we write everything in English there as well, don't we? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make sure that it's not only
already now an event for next year.
Yeah, and and the information's in English and in Swedish. Yeah. You can't go wrong. It's super easy.
And you know what, Jamil? One thing that that I like from an arranger perspective is that me and Dan-Magnus, what we are focusing on is the topics for the conference. Mm-hmm. So what we have done is that we actually team up with a company that organize also the Malmö Beer and Whiskey Festival,
which is excellent as well.
The days after the actual conference. Mm-hmm. So they have the expertise and the knowledge about setting up all the facilities. You know, there were stuff that amazed me. You had an old soft ice cream machine outside of the conference to use, and all of that. I really love that. We have ticket handling, infrastructure for web, and that kind of takes away a big load from us, that we don't need to even think about those items more than they should be covered in the budget. So then we can focus on getting good topics in and getting good speakers for the conference. That's the main golden nugget, I would say, from our perspective.
Well, and you know, the whole thing is very professionally done. You know, because they're supplying all that expertise on event handling, it's run like a major conference. It's just much smaller, more intimate, and I'll also say the beer festival is fantastic. It's beer and whiskey, and it is like a smaller GABF with much higher end booths. It's really a nice festival. I've done it 2 years now, and I loved it. I thought it was great. So, and you know, speaking of conferences and things that are easy, you know what couldn't be easier is testing your water with the Lamont Brew Lab.
Oh yes,
easy
Very
to
good
use.
way to do it.
Takes 15 minutes. You know, it takes longer to address a package, to send your water off and print a label and all that stuff, to send your water off to have it analyzed. You could, in less time than it takes to package it up and send your water off, you could analyze it yourself. And you get an accuracy of plus 10, minus 10 ppm for most tests, which, you know...
Oh, it's right there.
That's all you need. That's you know, the precision you want. And I'll tell you, when you can do this at you know, around $125 for the basic kit, or $195 for the kit with the pH meter, which that's
a great price for a pH meter.
It's a really nice pH meter. It's worth more than the $70 difference there. Or the Pro kit, $7.99. It's got a pH meter and a dissolved oxygen meter, and aren't the reagents more, and
more tests,
and a wider range of tests?
Yeah, for the professional brewer, that's what it's geared for.
Well worth it. You know, if you've got a brewery and you care that you use water in your brew, get yourself the Lamont Pro kit. We have it at Heretic. We use it. It is easy. It is precise. We love it. You can go to the Lamont website to order it. You can get it from a lot of different retailers, such as More Beer, our good friends at morebeer.com. You know, water's a big part of things.
It is.
The thing that people miss a lot of times is they're like, well, what do I add to water? It's like, well, the question is, what is in the water to start with? You know, that's going to tell you, you know, what you need to add.
That's right.
You know, without knowing what's in the water, you don't know what to add. So I would highly recommend checking out the Lamont range of kits. Check them out, lamont.com?
.com, yes.
There you go. How did I figure that out? Lamont.com. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's do this. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we will have more about the beer scene in Sweden right after this.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com. Also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer. Hey there, BN Army. Have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamil and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong.
Yeah. Woo. All right. Well, I was going to say, the AHA, the conference is going to be in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And John, you're going to be there. I'm going to be
definitely
there.
Gonna be there.
I'm looking forward to it. So tickets are on sale right now for the 39th Annual National Homebrewers Conference, a.k.a. Homebrew Con, in Minnesota.
Land of Walleye.
Land of Walleye. Doesn't sound very Swedish to me.
You betcha.
No. Yeah, they all say in Sweden, you betcha. They say that all the time. But all right. I was telling somebody in the UK or in Norway or something. They said, "Oh, really? Is the conference that great?" And I keep telling people this is the greatest beer event in the world, bar none.
It is.
It is tremendous. I am going, and they said, "Oh, so are you going, to promote Heretic, or why are you going?" I'm going because I enjoy it, because it's the greatest beer event in the world. Because if you brew beer, there is no finer conference than or beer experience than being a home brewer at this thing with the other 3,500 people that are going to show up. You can turn to anybody and just start talking about, what you're geeky about in beer, and, they're right there for you. It is absolutely fantastic. So
really a high caliber of brewing knowledge at this event.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people to talk to, lots of great beers to try that clubs bring and share. Some of the best beers we've ever had have been at this conference.
There you go. So June 15th through 17th in Minneapolis for 3 days. And space is limited, so you need to get yourself over there now at homebrewcon.org. Or just search for National Homebrewers Conference, Minnesota 20... This is 17? Yeah, there's 17. There you go. I knew I'd get it right one of these times. Check them out. All right, so back to Sweden and the excellent conference there. And, one of the things I noticed when I was there, Dan, Magnus and Magnus, is you guys put on a nice kind of reception in the evenings of the conference where brewers are encouraged to bring their beer, and you bring in some other beers, and you get to taste what people are doing locally. And frankly, I'm quite impressed with the quality of beer that's being brewed in Sweden, and kind of the advanced nature of the beer scene there, and the beer lovers there, like at the Beer and Whiskey Fest. I mean, the people I talked to had quite an excellent grasp of beer styles, and where I go to a lot of countries and visit a lot of places, and people are not necessarily as all keen as they are in Sweden. I mean, even in the U.S., I think a lot of people kind of have no clue as to beer styles like they do in Sweden.
Yeah, I think, it's been a quite rapid change, I would say, because if we would go back 10 years, then I don't think actually much people would have that much knowledge about the different beer styles, etc.
Uh-huh.
But with the involvement of craft breweries and the expansions that we have seen, or then just the pure numbers of craft breweries, then it kind of tends to go being an educational effort to the actual consumers as well, to the people drinking the beers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I think that most of the educational work towards the different beer drinking people has come. I don't know if you agree there, Don Magnus.
No. No, of course I do. I was thinking of. I think both the interest and the quality comes from a strong movement among homebrewing. Mm-hmm. So just like you, Magnus, when we started our brewery, you brought me some years before that. You brought me into to the full grain homebrewing and the excellent fun hobby that brewing beer is. I shouldn't say to the audience in this show because everyone knows, but I think it's I think that brings also in every neighborhood there's someone brewing beer, and they bring also a lot of knowledge to their different parties they attend to, and and later, just as you said, in the last 10 years, there have been so many new brewers popping up. I think in Sweden we are like maybe 5-10 years behind the explosion that has been taking place in the US, and maybe other countries as well, like England, UK, etc. But
so is this this love of doing things, crafting things yourself, the reason that you all build your own furniture and have required the rest of the world to build their own furniture?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how we roll. Yeah.
Look around your office. Look around your home. You have a lot of IKEA stuff.
Yes.
Everything comes from Sweden.
But one thing that when you talked here, Don Magnus, that popped up was that when it comes to homebrewing, that has just as the craft beer experience and craft breweries are getting more and more numbers, home brewing has become really, really popular in Sweden, and much thanks to, I know there are some people called, I think it's called the kitchen brewery kit, where you can actually brew 10 liters at home. I don't know what that is, 2 gallons or something.
2 gallons,
like 2.5 gallons. Yeah,
and you make a small batch, and you get I think it's extract kit, and maybe there's some add-on where you can do all grain brewing. I don't know, but I think that has become quite popular, and then people start realizing that it's really not that complicated. It's kind of like nature has told the grains that they should become beer somehow.
Yeah.
So and that kind of when you prove that you can actually do something that is tasty, then it's easier to get into the hobby. If we go back 10-15 years or so, then you were kind of stuck to the extract kits, where you can make excellent beer, but one thing that was lacking back then was the knowledge and the information. Mm-hmm. So people went out, and then they bought, I want to have this Cooper's lager kit because I know I like to drink lager beer. Mm-hmm. So they went home and they followed the instruction, and it also said add some more sugar to get a higher alcohol volume. In Sweden, alcohol and whatever you can do with alcohol that is not taxed, that's kind of like something that motivates you. So when they have done that, then now it's time for fermentation, and then they put it next to the radiator at home. So it kind of turned out quite bad.
Yeah.
So is this how you got started? How you ended up opening your brewery? Tell us a little bit about Brewhouse 19, Brewhouse 19.
Oh, wow, you're talking with a Dutch accent there. That's excellent.
Brewhouse, I'll go more Dutch.
Yeah. You could do it like that if you want to. No, but I mean, it's a hobby for us that kind of got out of hand, you can say, and I think it's the turning point from going from the hobby brewer to going pro was in 2011, because we had like every homebrew gathering, you probably have like a competition or so, and we had one as well, and. Cut a long story short, but we had also a feedback at that session that we got better beer than we had in the samples. We bought some commercial samples, and then we had the same style what we have brewed ourselves. And after that, we started to do the business plan, etc. I think we spent like half a year and 4 meters of Excel sheet.
What styles do you brew at your brewery?
Currently we brew, I think it's three lagers actually. One Czech Pils and one Dortmunder Export, and the third one is a Doppelbock or a double bock. And then we have one. We call it. We call it an international pale ale because it's not an English style pale ale, but it's not an American style APA either. So we kind of bring in different hops and different yeast from all of the modern brewing world. That's what that's right. I call. And then we have an American pale ale and one IPA, and then a gluten-free double IPA, Russian Imperial Stout, and we have one raspberry wheat beer. Yeah, so it's different. We kind of try to bring according to style, right? To a large extent. I mean, we kind of see it as that's if you go out and you want to buy a Pilsner, then you should get something that tastes like a Pilsner. Mm-hmm. So we kind of want to market it like that. If you're a Pilsner drinker and that's the only thing that you've had for 100 years, then you should probably not go for the double IPA, because that you will kind of be frightened of that.
Yeah.
Well, has Sweden embraced any particular styles? I mean, those are becoming, such that they're becoming kind of recognized as Swedish favorites.
IPAs. Yeah. They are. That was a trend, they said some years back, but I think that's a trend that will continue for at least 20 years.
Around the world, people are drinking IPA. Where's your brewery located for people who don't know?
It's in the very southern parts of Sweden. So Sweden is very tall from north to south. And so you talked about Copenhagen and Malmö. So if you go with the car east and a bit northeast from Copenhagen for 2 hours with the car, and then you at a small town called Karlshamn. It's the county of Blekinge, and
kind of about halfway, not quite halfway between Malmö and Stockholm.
No, a bit shorter, maybe a third away to Stockholm. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that we did while I was there was you guys and Eric from Malmö Brewing Company. We got together there, and we did a collaboration brew.
Yeah. That was a fun experience.
It was great, and I loved our initial kind of talk about it on email about what we were going to do, and we decided on a Mexican pale ale, which was pale ale with corn and jalapenos and limes. And we put some effort into assessing the ingredients and choosing the right peppers and limes and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, chewing on the spicy stuff.
Yeah, while the hard work was being done, we were evaluating, or we were doing the hard work of evaluating the ingredients.
Yeah, I think you were quiet for like an hour after you're chewing to the jalapeno.
I'm never quiet. I'll tell you. I'll tell you my favorite moment of that whole thing. We're all in the Malmö brew house there, and we're standing around, and it's you two, and it's Eric, and it's Petter, and. We're standing there, and then all four of you start giving me shit about something, and you guys are mercilessly teasing me about something. And at that moment, I realized these guys are my friends. And, I mean, I was fully integrated into the crowd. I was no longer the outsider. I was part of the group. And I loved it. It was fantastic. I felt very touched that you would insult me so mercilessly, all four of you at the same time. I loved it.
It doesn't take much to make you happy.
I had a great time.
It was fun.
Even the critical brick, everything.
Yeah.
Did they criticize your driving too, Jamil?
No, John.
Oh, didn't go that far, huh?
Didn't go that far. Yeah. Don't. Hey, you guys.
Actually,
don't
no
ride
one was
with John
driving after that session.
Oh, I don't think so. It would be improper.
We had a great time doing that there with Malmö Brewing. And Malmö Brewing, they make great beers. You guys make great beers. Like I said, there's a lot of great brewing going on in Sweden, it appears to me. And I think a big part of it is, you look at this conference that you guys are doing, and you have a dedication to quality. And then, as a matter of fact, the first conference that I did over there with you guys, the subject was quality. And, you were, laying it out there for everybody. Hey, step up your quality. And I think, the people who are showing up are really passionate about, they want to make the best beer possible. Not that other brewers don't want to do that, but these guys are showing up and investing in making sure that they can make great beer, and that their beer is going to get better. And I think that's spectacular.
Yeah. You know, Jamil, the thing about quality and the first conference, or the conference that we had the year before this year, one thing that, the topic was about quality, and we have multiple different speeches all about hygiene and the water quality, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But some key takeaways after visiting different breweries after that session was that they started to think more about quality, and I know I visited some breweries, and they were out on eBay hunting for different lab equipment to do it, and that's, goes from seeing stuff on the PowerPoint and having someone talking about it to actually go out and get the stuff that make you better. I think that was it made an impression on me, and I think for a lot of them, I think that they have actually improved as well in their quality of beer, and that's excellent.
Well, and I really like to credit myself with that. I think it's really, it's really all me. That's why it's really working.
If you're in the sales of used equipment, you can kind of laugh your way out all the way to the bank now, because people are out there scouting for used equipment.
No, everyone I talk to at the conference are really passionate. It's mainly all people from Sweden, but I tell you, I think the future is bright for Swedish beer if people keep attending the conference and focusing like they do, and really, the quality level is quite high now. If they keep at it like they are, it's going to be a powerhouse of brewing. How many breweries in Sweden right now? Do you know?
I know when we started, as I said, back in 2011, doing the plans, we had 44 active breweries. And the last couple of years, it's been more or less an explosion. So we're around 300.
Wow!
As it is right now, but it looks like the curve is flattening out a bit. So maybe it will not be that steep increase anymore, or at least the coming year.
At least 300. And what's the population of Sweden?
10 million.
10 million people. That's impressive. That's impressive. In California, we've got like 800 plus breweries, but it's almost 40 million people.
Yeah.
So you've got more per capita than California, California is like 1/6 of the breweries in the United States are in California. So you're exceeding that already.
Yeah.
So it's a passionate beer scene out there.
Yeah, and it kind of it's nice to be part of that. And one thing though, it's when it comes to brewing beer, I mean, it's quite important to have the right ingredients as well. And that kind of brings me into what ingredients that we are getting here.
Yeah.
When it comes to malts, I think we have a pretty good situation. We don't get much of the U.S. malts, but I think that we have German malts, and we have. I mean, it's more. This is my highly unscientific point of view when it comes to different maltsters in Europe. So someone might send a hitman after me now, but if you look at the German maltsters, we have, for example, Weiermann. They are working in decimals when it comes to the different temperatures during their malting process. And then if you move a bit to the west of Germany, you have Belgium, and they are kind of more like autistic, and maybe they let it go a bit wilder when they do the malting, and we have the special B. It's kind of burnt on one side, and then it's
the Belgians
on the other side. Yeah. And then the English guys, they are a bit more in between, I would say, but they also keep these old Maris Otter. Right. So that you can kind of get not that...
go to the UK, and there's like some old dude who's been working the same job for 45 years and does it by, smell or, there's no measurement equipment anywhere to be seen. It's just like, seems right. The same way for 45 years.
It smells right, seems right. Probably have the right humidity. That's kind of... but I mean, that's kind of craft in itself, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think some of the greatest malts in the world come from Europe. There's great malts in Germany and in Belgium and in the UK. Absolutely. Especially character malts out of the UK. The crystals and the darks are just... There's no one better in the world. I do think that there's some great malts in the U.S., but because of their cleanliness, I mean, they're even cleaner than the Germans. It's such a clean flavor, or the gold towards a lighter flavor, just amazing. I think one of the things that I noticed. Was the struggle for great fresh hops there in Sweden, especially in the American hops. Now, like the German and the UK hops, I think you guys got a better in than we do in the U.S. But on U.S. hops, it seemed like more of a struggle.
Yeah. This is tricky to say the least. I know contracting is quite hard for you guys, and you live close to the good and popular hops.
Oh yeah.
Our challenge is more how to do magic with the hops that we can get a hold of. And I have a theory that once all of you guys get to do the cherry picking on hops, that leaves the, let's call it, the not so cherry hops for other sales. So guess what ends up here? So sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I get a feeling that the imports and distributors are more into the game of to raise prices than to provide good quality hops.
You can always play in the harvest and the year and the weather and whatever. Yeah.
And I know that many or some Swedish breweries that they are trying to do some sort of a small scale importing directly from the hop farms in the U.S. So,
are you all growing hops in Sweden yet? Or
there are some attempts trying to grow hops in Sweden. I mean, of course, it's fully plausible to do it, but if you would grow like Cascade here, it wouldn't taste like Cascade grown in the U.S.
Right.
I mean, regional differences.
It would probably be quite okay, but it wouldn't taste. You wouldn't get the citrusy flavors. But I think that I've seen some guys that are starting up and they are going much for the more of the German hops, which would make sense because they are quite close, both in terms of temperature and soil, I would guess. Mm-hmm. So what I see as a problem here is that when we make a recipe, then you can work it like you would need to actually maybe have 4 different hops in your IPA or APA, because then you know that when the next crop comes, that particular hop will not taste as it was supposed to. Then you can balance it with another one. So it's kind of a trick to get the mixing right there. Mm-hmm. And specifically, I know if you look at Simcoe, that's one hop that we use quite extensively. There's quite different taste in the 2015 compared to the 2016. Mm-hmm. At least for the ones that end up here. I don't know how it's on your side, but it's not. It doesn't taste like the same hops.
Yeah, there's a huge difference field to field. So. All right, so next year at the conference, I think maybe water, so we get John out there. We do carbonation. I don't know if there's going to be time for hops, but and that's what I'm thinking. Water, carbonation, maybe some hops. I don't know.
Yeah, I will also because much of the hops that we're talking about late edition hops and dry hopping.
Right.
So one thing that I'm very much interested in and want to know more about is lupulin powder. And I see that both farmers in the UK and throughout Europe, they are also starting to experiment with it. So right now, the ones that we can get, I think it's Citrite, Simcoe, and it's Amarillo. Mm-hmm. But there are interesting stuff happening in the very south of Europe with I think Slovenia. They also have some interesting hops coming up where you can kind of get the fruity flavors that you normally would associate to the American hops.
Well, if you're looking for great hops, you might check out Great Fermentations. And right now, Great Fermentations is in the process of giving away your homebrew ingredients for 15 years and a Blickman Brew Easy all-grain brewing system.
Wow.
Yeah. A $10,000 prize, essentially. Wow. Compliments of Great Fermentations. You just need to go to greatfermentations.com/giveaway, and you can enter for your chance to win. That's all it takes. The grand prize announcement is going to be on Saturday, June 17th, which is, I believe, the grand banquet at the Homebrew Conference in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
They're also doing random giveaways every 2 weeks leading up to the close of the competition. These items are going to be like conical fermenters, temperature controllers, the new Blickman Riptide brew pump, and even more cool stuff. So check it out. As always, Great Fermentation, they're going to give you great customer service, same-day shipping on most items. They are fantastic people. That's Blickman's homebrew shop, by the way. GreatFermentations.com/giveaway. Check it out. Like them on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, all that other stuff. It is at GR8 Fermentation. And you, too, could be winning $10,000 worth of goodies just by checking them out. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we will wrap up right after this.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, the Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing. Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from the BrewingNetwork.com.
Learning to brew has never been so disgusting. This is Brew Strong.
All right. Speaking of disgusting, it is disgusting that the plastic from used in the catalyst fermenter, compact conical fermenter, 90% more scratch resistant than other plastic conicals, 71% less oxygen permeable. It's got a low profile stand, allows you to put that on your counter, in your fridge, wherever you want, and is lightweight. Cleaning's a breeze. Unlike other conical plastic fermenters, the whole lid comes off. You can reach your giant monkey arms down in there, get those crusties off the side. And perhaps the best part of it is a 3-inch, for God's sakes, butterfly valve at the bottom. And you can just screw on a any size mason jar and dump your yeast right into that bad boy, or dump trube, whatever you want to do. And pretty damn awesome. Check them out at craftbrew.com. The Catalyst conical fermenter. I think it's like the way to go in conical fermenters, with all the advantages and none of the drawbacks of going plastic. So very cool.
It's a nice system, yeah.
Check them out. Craftbrew.com. All right. What haven't we talked about, Magnus, Dan-Magnus?
Well, there's a lot of things that we haven't talked about, but
that we can talk about in polite company. Not like when we're collaborating on a beer.
One thing that came to mind was actually, and this is kind of a shout out to the Swedish listeners, because I know you have a few there that for the conference that we had, and also for the Malmö Beer and Whiskey Festival, then we brought in a pallet of your beer, from Heretic. So
you guys are awesome for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool to have you there, and also to be able to serve your beer. So that's really awesome. But we have some cases left, or some boxes left of your beer. I think we have Evil Cousin, we have Evil Twin, and we also have Torment. I think that's the ones that we have left.
A little bit of Shallow Grave, I think, also.
Shallow Grave, GBF medal winner,
excellent beers,
World Beer Cup winner.
But we have a beer fest. We have a beer fest on Saturday, so we shouldn't shout out too high, Magnus.
No, but for you guys that are living in Sweden, you can use the benefit of the alcohol monopoly that we have, that you can do private import. Just state us, Bryggersnitton, as the distributors for the beers that you're interested in. It's in 650 ml bottles. So do that if you want to have Jamil's beers.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And I'm just supposing maybe we'll do this again next year. So people might want to get in orders for what they want next year.
Yep.
And maybe we'll make that part of it. Huh? I'm just saying. And you guys flew it in. It wasn't like, dragged on some boat for an endless amount of time, right?
No, I mean, have you ever seen like Snoop Dogg get to an event in a bus? No, he's going limo style.
Yeah.
We fly beer in straight from Fairfield, California.
Right. No, when I was there, I tasted all the beers at the festival and all that, and they all tasted very fresh to me. So I was very impressed. Yeah, good stuff.
I think it left your brewery on the Thursday and came to us in Sweden on the Monday. Tuesday. Maybe it was Tuesday morning or Monday afternoon. I'm not sure. It was quite a good shipment. Fast.
Well, and we will. So March 8th. I'm just saying, Evil 3 next year. That could make it as well. I think people need to get the pre-orders in for Evil 3. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to really stand in line for that one, because that one ended up getting sold out quite fast. I think I actually have the last 2 bottles in my fridge here.
Oh, there you go. Well, so there's 2 bottles for sale, is what you're saying.
No, those. You have one as well, yeah. Maybe we should invite some friends over, not to sit there and drink that by ourselves.
No.
And one thing that I thought about. Now you might be able to send an extra invoice to your guys at La Motte, but for the guys in Europe, we actually listen to the Brewing Network and Brew Strong, and I contacted La Motte, and they were actually shipping out from the UK as well. So it's not a big thing to get all the good things with the water kits from La Motte to
that's good to hear.
In Europe. So I ordered it on a Monday and think I got it the week after.
There you go. It's good stuff. I tell you, we use it. I'm real pleased with the La Motte products. I think it's well worth the money spent for checking your water. All right. Great show, you guys. Thank you so much for participating. I know it's got to be close to 1 a.m. there in Sweden. And I appreciate everything, and especially inviting me and convincing me to come the first time. It's been a serious pleasure on my end coming out and seeing you guys. So I look forward to doing it again. And if you're ever out my way, please let me know. I'd love to host you here in the U.S. All right. Make sure you check out our other fine sponsors, BlickmanEngineering.com. John at Blickman Engineering, he is doing some crazy stuff that is going to blow your mind on Brew Day. So check them out at Blickman Engineering. Check out the great folks at La Motte, Great Fermentations, DHA, the Catalyst Conical, all good stuff. And you can also check out good stuff at the Brewing Network store, thebrewingnetwork.com/store. There's hoodies, there's hats, there's glassware, there's hookah pipes, there is condoms, there's banana hammocks, all that stuff that you need. Yeah, small watercraft, all that stuff that you need to enhance your life in general that you can get from the Brewing Network store. And when you buy this stuff at thebrewingnetwork.com, it all goes to the bottom line of the Brewing Network and keeps shows like this on the air so you can enjoy them free of charge anytime you want. And, I guess that's it. I guess I'm done. How about you, John?
Sounds good to me. Brew strong.
Brew strong, everybody.